California-born David Mondragon started his automobile journey working at Ford's assembly plant in Edison, New Jersey. That was almost 25 years ago or so. He got an MBA along the way. Today he steers Ford Motor Company Canada, which employs something like 7,000 Canadians. It is my pleasure to welcome David Mondragon back to Studio 4 to tell us more. I say 7,000 Canadians. I assume some of them are dual citizens and not quite Canadians, but 7,000 or so?
Yeah, the majority of them are Canadians, though. We have 4 production facilities and a world headquarters, or Canadian headquarters, in Oakville, Canada. Yeah.
Take me back to your beginnings. I know you did this last year, but tell me again. So on the assembly line, New Jersey.
In New Jersey, that's right. I started my career in 1985 in Edison, New Jersey. And that was a long time ago. I finished school, I answered an ad in the Wall Street Journal, and Ford was looking for people, and I filled out the ad, I sent in my resume, and lo and behold, I ended up working for Ford.
And did you have the MBA then or later?
Yeah, I just finished grad school, and I started to work for Ford, and I actually started at a time where we were downsizing. Tough time in the industry in 1985. The economy was on the skids, so to speak, in North America. High tech was really starting to retrench. And when I went to Ford, we just got rid of all of our administrative staff. So the secretaries are gone, any kind of admin staff were gone. And I took that role. I started with the company for the first 7 months. I took dictation, I did typing, I took shorthand, whatever they needed. I did the mail, I answered the phone. And quite frankly, I was happy to have a job. I had a good paying job, I got a company car, and I was working for an American Icon company as well.
And the company car was? Do you remember?
Yeah, I started with it. Actually, it's funny because I started the day that I arrived, there was 2 cars available. And there was another gentleman that started that came from another school, 2 college hires. He got there 2 hours before me, and he picked up a brand new Mustang GT convertible, white with red interior. I'll never forget that car because it was beautiful. And I picked up a police cruiser, a Crown Victoria blue police cruiser, and that was the last vehicle they had in the lot for me, and I was happy to have it though.
But it didn't have a siren or anything.
It did have a siren. I couldn't use it, but it had a deactivated siren, and it had the bunny lamps. It had the whole deal.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a great vehicle. I got from point A to point B very fast, and I had a lot of people pulling over on the highway for me as well. So it was a fun car to have.
When you were a young boy in California, did you want to be a cop or a firefighter or anything like that?
It's funny you say that. My brother, who's here from Seattle, is a fireman. He's Yeah, he's a fire chief from Seattle. He came here last year as well because he's a big fan of yours. So he watches your show in Seattle as well.
See?
And so he's come for a second year. And I didn't really have aspirations to go into that field. I wanted to be in high tech or in automotive, and I ended up in a field that I chose.
Take me back to your first days on the job, Ford then. How it was done then and how it's done now. The changes in the company, not at an administrative level, but how you put a car together then and how you put a car together now.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences, and I don't want to get into too much technicality for the audience, but I will say the biggest thing that we're doing differently today is we have common platforms, and the products that we build are common throughout the world. We used to make Focus, for example. We used to make a different Focus in Canada, a different one in the US, a different one in South America, a different one in Europe. Now we make the same Focus globally, and 80% of that car is the same anywhere you go in the world. So if you're in Europe, if you're in Asia, if you're in South America, if you're in Mexico, you're going to see the exact same Focus that you're going to see here in Canada. And so what that lets us do from a production standpoint, it lets us have very common practices. And it really increases our efficiency and our quality, because if we find an issue with a vehicle, we can change it in plants all through the world simultaneously versus just one specific plant, one specific vehicle.
It makes sense, consistency.
Yeah.
Andrew McCready, in a column, writer, said of the 3 CEOs, Chrysler, GM, and Ford, you most likely got the most sleep in 2009.
There were a few sleepless nights, let me tell you.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But Ford did not fall as hard as the other 2, it appears.
No, it didn't. If you look at the industry over the last 2 years, in Canada, the industry from 2008 to 2010, the car industry is down 90,000 pieces. Our sales are up during the same time period, 60,000 pieces. And the reason why is because we have vehicles that consumers really want and value in Canada. We bring great value, and our technology is cutting edge today. We have great quality, great technology. And Canada is one of the most online societies in the world. If you didn't know it, 80% of Canadians have internet access, 90% have broadband, and 51% of Canadians are on Facebook, the highest Facebook penetration in the world. And we're bringing all of that technology to our vehicles, and people can bring it through their smartphones and activate it in our new vehicles.
Well, as Shania Twain would tell you, that's because so many of us live in the bush, you know, and we need access. And of course, a lot of us live in the cities, as you know. But back to how you determine what a customer wants. What a customer really wants in a car. Low gas mileage makes sense, or maybe not.
Yeah, gas mileage is a huge driver. Look, fuel prices in Canada are now well over $4.50 a gallon. It's going to get to $5 before long. Oil prices are right around $100 a barrel. It's going to go to $120 in the future as world demand picks up, especially as the recovery starts in Japan. So we're going to see a lot of pressure on commodity prices. It'll drive fuel prices higher, and people will look for fuel-efficient vehicles. That'll be a big driver for purchases. At Ford, we have 10 vehicles that lead their segment in fuel economy, and we have 4 cars alone that get over 50 miles a gallon in Canada, 40 miles in the U.S. because we have empirical gallons here in Canada. But great fuel economy in terms of our new vehicles, and great value for consumers as well.
What about safety?
Safety, we lead the industry with 5-star safety ratings. So we have the safest vehicles on the road. We're very proud of the quality history. Our quality now is on par with the best of the industry. And then again, the technology is really exciting. And the technology is really the new evolution of the vehicles. It's, you know, no longer are car companies like Ford building simple transportation devices. We're building very sophisticated communication and entertainment devices, and people are bringing that entertainment in their vehicles, and they want seamless communication.
Sure. I mean, the car now is kind of an event.
Yeah, it is.
The kids are in the back watching television.
Right.
And I know in the front you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But the Bluetooth, all of the little gadgets and gizmos and where you plug your iPod, I mean, there was a day, you probably don't remember, when you just turned on the radio, and that was a big deal.
I do remember. I just turned 50 last year, so I was my dad's remote when we were younger. We had the turn dial TV. He'd say, go to channel 13, go to the UHF channels. Right. I was the one that ran up and turned the channel. So it has evolved very fast, and the technology is going to continue to evolve very fast. And the key to manufacturers, and one of our key platforms, is we're going to deliver state-of-the-art technology for our consumers, because consumers aren't going to accept a car platform anymore that won't adapt to their lifestyle. And lifestyles are based on PDAs now. They're based on smartphones. And that's how people bring their life and connect their life through transportation, work, play, and home.